Hello, students and parents. Today we'll be discussing 10 magical tricks of as the SAT, right? As our SAT is very nearby, now it's around on 8 March. So we'll be seeing today that what are the 10 magical tricks we can use on the Desmos to ace this set, correct? So stay tuned. And what we'll be doing today is first, initially, I'll be going through our website. From website we'll see how we can give the free diagnostic test, or we can book a free counseling session, or we can book our free demo session, right? Okay, so from there, and then we'll be move forward with the our Desmos workshop. That is, I'll be showing you 10 important questions we can solve on the Desmos and can score big on coming SAT March, right? It's on 8 March. Now let's go. Let me share, right? So I'll just go to our website. This is our website of Pi-Theta. From there you can just go to pre-AI set assessment. Now, as this is our ai.pytheta.com platform, we can go to, as we can give free diagnostic test here. We can play and practice some important practices, and also we can practice with Ilsa. Ilsa is our AI powered tutor. She can solve your some doubts, right? You can select any topic from here, whether it is easy, medium, hard, and you can select any topic of English, writing, math, right? Okay, and you can practice this if it's a reading, writing, math, anything. If you want to practice linear equation, you can go here and you can practice some questions. If you practice advanced math, you can practice here. You can go to problem solving, data analysis, you can go to geometry, trigonometry, right? So there are in algebra, we can see in plan practice, we have three important topics. In advanced math, we have three important topics, problem solving, right? But if you go for advanced, if you want to go for the advanced plan, we offer you 15th full length test apart from diagnostic test, right? Okay, and then you have analytics dashboard that I'll be going through after solving the Desmos test. Okay, and then there is a learning hub. Okay, anytime you can practice with Ilsa. I'll be going to the start test and I'll be starting SAT math graphic workshop. So stay tuned. We'll be seeing 10 most important tricks that Desmos can solve and help you in SAT March exam on 8 March, right? I'll start the test. We will go to the full screen. Yes, everyone. Now what they're telling you, very first question they're telling you is solve the system of equation 3x plus 2 equal to 4x minus 6 and x minus 7, x minus y equal to 7. What is the value of x plus y? You can go to the calculator. This is our Desmos calculator and it's inbuilt in your Blue Book app as well, where you will be giving your actual exam. So 3x plus 2 equal to 4x minus 6. This is on your first tab, and x minus y equal to 7 is on your other tab. Now check for the point of intersection. Your x coordinate is 8 and y coordinate is 1, and read the last line. They're telling you what is the value of x plus y. So I can just say x plus y is nothing but 8 plus 1, that is your. So I'll just write 9 here and we'll move it. So whenever you see some simultaneous equation, system of equation question, you just have to use Desmos. Put first equation on the first tab, second equation on the second tab, and see the point of intersection and read the last line to solve this question. All right. Okay, I'm going to the next question now. This is one of the most important trick. Going to the next question here. What they're telling you, I'm just moving the Desmos calculator as required. So you can move around your Desmos calculator as and when you required. Now they're telling you if f is the function defined by f of x equal to 2x minus 1 upon 3, what is the value of f of phi, right? So always remember one thing, when you have such type of question, you just write the origin on the first tab, and very simple as it is, you can just write divide by 3. So this is your linear function, and just they're asking you the value of f of phi, so you can just write f of phi and you will get the answer. So they are giving you 3 as the answer. As simple as that. Whenever there is a linear function and they are giving you the function and they're asking you something f of phi, something that is your y value, right? So your answer is here 3. It's very quite visible here. So you can just go ahead with that and you can just go to the next question. So this was your next point trick. Now this is, if you can observe this question, this is your absolute value function question, where modulus of x minus 5 is equal to 7. What is one possible solution to given equation? Now everyone knows that whenever we get the absolute value function question, right? So we will be getting two solution here. So therefore they are asking you one possible solution, because we know that we'll be getting two solution on the Desmos. But remember one thing, in SAT exam, Whenever there is something on the left hand side, on the right hand side, always remember to put first equation on the first step, like the left hand side on the first step. I will select, if you observe here, there is a keypad here, right, in the Desmos. So I'll select the keypad, I'll select the modulus sign, it's above ABC written. So I'll select the modulus. I will write x minus 5 and I'll close the modulus and I'll write equal to 7. Now, what happens here is, what is the problem here is that you're still getting the answer, right? You're still getting the answer here, but I'm not able to see the coordinates properly. And I have to zoom on, zoom it to see the answer. So it's better not to put everything on a very first step. Just put modulus of x minus 5 on the first step and put y equal to 7 on other tab. Then it becomes very simple to find the coordinates. So what is the value of x here? First is -2 and another is 12. So that is one possible value. Either you can input -2 or 2. Sometimes in the question, they may tell you what is the positive solution. So you have to put 12 as the answer and they may tell you what is the negative solution. So always read the last line before inputting the answer. Yes, so what is the answer here? Either you can put -2 or either you can put 12. I'm putting -2 here and I'm going ahead. Right, so this is something very important. Again, one of the trick. Yeah, here coming the question where we can call it as the linear regression, right? And it is one of the most important question in the exam, and we'll be solving it with the help of calculator again. And the feature that we'll be using here, we call it as the table feature. Now, whenever you get such type of question where when they're telling you some values of the linear function and the table is given above, and they are talking about which of the following define f's, that therefore they are asking you something that is a linear equation here, and that is in the form of slope intercept form, that is y equal to mx plus c. Okay, now as it is y is equal to mx plus c, we have two unknowns here. We know what are the unknowns. Unknowns are m and c. What are the unknowns in the linear function? Basically, y is equal to, in the slope intercept form, y is equal to mx plus c. We have two unknowns here. What are the unknowns here? M and c. As there are two unknowns, we actually require minimum two coordinates in the table to plot it as the regression. What is the regression? We call it as a linear regression, right? For that, if we have two unknowns, like in the slope intercept form, that is y is equal to mx plus c, we have m and c as the unknowns. We require minimum two coordinates. But as you can see the table, we have well sufficient coordinates, as we are lucky enough to understand that we have more than two coordinates, right? We have 2,9, 4,17 and 6,25. And we can very easily understand that what will be our function. We can just go to plus sign here. We can go to table and we can see, we can write 2,9, we can write 4,17, we can write 6,25, and now I will write a regression. That is y1. Why I'm writing y1? Because if you observe our table is our x1 and y1, right? And I'll do the regression sign. So don't forget this sign. This is basically on your laptop. If you can observe, this is somewhere around on our top left corner, there is a escape tab. It's around there, right? So y1, and then you can just write mx1 plus c. Why I'm writing y1 m1? Because our table is of x1 y1, right? If you see the column, rows, everything, you can observe that. Now if you can observe our parameter, our m is 4 and c is 1, that implies that y is equal to mx plus c. That implies that y is equal to 4x plus 1. That is our option number 1, right? Okay, so you can solve it by the slope also, 17 minus 9 upon 4 minus 2, but manually solving it, getting the answer is something, because more trickier question can come in the exam. The moment you see the table, it's basically the linear regression. That is something very important, right? So this is your fourth number trick, but we don't only have the linear regression. We may have the quadratic regression, we may have the exponential regression, right? So you have to remember there are three forms of parabola, right? What are the three forms of parabola? That is a standard form, there is a vertex form, and there is a factored form. So The moment you see the standard form, we can observe here that is y is equal to, or function is equal to ax square plus bx plus c. That implies that we have three unknowns there. What are the three unknowns? We have a, b, and c. So if we have three unknowns, that means minimum will require three coordinates to plot it on the regression. That is a quadratic regression. Yes. Okay. If it's an exponential regression, we are actually seeing one of the question on exponential regression further, right? Yes. Okay. So stay tuned. We have to actually go ahead and see the questions. Great. Okay. So I marked option number A here. Very simple. So these are the important tricks we are seeing. Now what they are telling again. So what they are telling, I'll just, you can manage this sign. You can just drag it here and there, and also actually make it smaller, make it larger, right? So it depends on you how you want to work on Desmos. Which quadratic equation below does not have any real solution? Does not have any real solution means, implies that this equation, if you observe, will create a parabola, right? Because it's a quadratic equation. If it's a quadratic equation, that means there will be a curve. It's not a linear function, it's a quadratic function. You will get a parabola. Now that parabola, if it is not cutting the x-axis, right? Okay, whether it's upward opening parabola, it's a downward opening parabola. If it's not cutting the x-axis, that means it will not have real solution. Yes. So what we have to do here, we can just one by one, we can just put this equation on the Desmos and check whether it is crossing the x-axis. I think so. This will cross the x-axis. It is well understood here. You can just see that is crossing the x-axis. Now you can make some changes here itself. 5x square plus 14x plus 49, right? Now whether it is cutting the x-axis, no, it's not cutting. Yes. So option B can be our answer, but we can check other options also. X square, we can check on the same equation, or we can check on the other equation. That is not our problem. So we can just check. This is also cutting the x-axis. X square minus 14x plus 49. This is also cutting at, basically it is tangent to the x-axis. That means option number B is our answer, right? Okay, as simple as that. And we can actually see, we can use another feature also on the Desmos. We have basically this part. We can just cancel this, we can cancel this, and we can cancel this. Yes. Okay, so we have this answer. I'm just dragging the calculator here and there to make you understand that we can drag this calculator anywhere as and when required. So that was our question number 5. Now, very important question that is coming up is, they're telling f of x equal to 4x square plus 64x plus 262. The function g is defined by g of x equal to f of x plus 5. For what value of x does g of x reach its minimum? So they are asking you the function value or the value of x. They're asking you for what value of x. That means they are asking you the value of x here. But the original function is what? So what we have to do here is, we have to put the original function first on the Desmos. That is 4x square on a very first tab plus 64x plus 262, right? The moment we put the original function, they're telling you the function g is defined by g of x equal to f of x plus 5. For what value of x does g of x reach its minimum there, doctor, right? And you can observe it's at minimum only, right? It's not at maximum. So instead of writing g of x there, it's basically, you can just write f of x plus 5. Okay, and you may see, if you observe the graph, it is f of x plus 5 means it's a horizontal translation, right? And if it's f of x plus 5, that means it will translate to the left by 5 units. Okay, it works opposite to what we think, right? It will work what we will think. If you think that if it is x plus 5, we'll think that it will go right, but it will go in the opposite direction in the left. That is a horizontal translation. So what was the coordinate here? See, initially only we would have understood. Initial our coordinate was -8. If it is going left by 5 units, that means it will be -13 only. But just for understanding on the calculator, we have written f of x plus 5 and we are getting -13 here. Let's say if you are confused between which is our original graph and which is your translated graph, you can just make this invisible to make it understand. This is one of the very important feature where we can make this graph invisible as well. right? Okay, just for your understanding. So our answer is negative 13. Very simple and very important trick in the exam. I'm going to the next question here. Good. This is a very good question. They're telling a circle in the xy plane has the equation. Now, what type of equation this is? This is the center radius form of the circle. This is not a standard equation, right? There are two forms of circle equation. Basically, one of the form is the center radius form of the circle, and the other form is the standard form. Generally, we don't solve standard form on the Desmos. We solve standard form on the GDC, whatever GDC you have, whether it's a Casio, whether it's TI, right? That will be seen in one of the GDC session, right? So stay tuned. We'll be seeing all the important questions that will be helping you in SAT March exam, and in the further if you are giving in the March, May SAT, June SAT, or August SAT, right? This year. Now, which of the following point does not lie in the interior of the circle they are telling? So very simple, what you can do, you can put the original function, that is of the circle equation, center radius form, on the circle, on the Desmos, and then put y plus 2 whole square equal to 25. You will get a very beautiful circle there, right, on the Desmos. Now, very simple idea, we call it as a label feature. What is the meaning of label feature? Now you will just check. But remember one line, they are telling which of the following point does not lie, which will not lie in the interior of the circle. You have to find that point. So write negative 4 comma negative 2. Is it lying in the interior of the circle? Yes, it's quite visible, it's lying, and you can actually label it also. I'll tell you how to label this, right? Just a moment. You can label something like this. So you will be able to see whether it is lying. I'll put it negative 8 comma negative 2. Yes, it is still lying in the interior of the circle. That link does not lie in the interior of the circle. I'll put negative 6 comma 3. Label it, and it's bit outside the circle, right? Yes. So this will be our answer. Most probably, I'll put negative 1 comma 0 just for cross verifying it, and negative 1 comma 0 is in the interior circle. Our answer is option number C. Yes, as simple as that. We call it as a label feature, and it will be helpful for you to tackle important question where they are asking you which lie inside the circle, which lie outside the circle, right? As we have seen the table feature, right? The regression feature, correct? The calculator. Very important question. See, this was the question when we have studied about the linear regression, right? Just make it a little bigger for your understanding. And we'll again use the table feature here. Okay. Because table feature is not only used for the linear regression, basically for forms of parabola also, for the vertex form, factored form, for the standard form, for the exponential function, everything, like we can use the regression as and when required. But remember, the number of unknowns should be equal to number of knowns, right? Correct. That nothing what to worry about. Once you rewatch this video again, right, you will understand that these are something very important question in the exam. Now, what they're telling is this is the exponential function question. It's quite clear here. The function f is defined by f of x equal to a raised to x plus b, where a and b are constant. In the xy plane, the graph of y is equal to f of x has an x-intercept at 2, comma 0 and y-intercept at 0, comma negative 323. What is the value of b? Now, again, if you observe the function, it's an exponential function for sure, and it is a raised to x plus b. That means a and b are unknowns here, right? Now, if you observe, I initially only told you, right, if there are two unknowns, we minimum require two coordinates. And as we are very lucky enough, we have two coordinates, that is 2, comma 0 and 0, comma 3, 0, comma negative 323. Okay, very simple. I'll go to the plus sign. I'll select the table here and I'll write again 2, comma 0. I'll write 0, comma negative 323. And I will write again the regression. We'll use the regression feature here, right? But for the exponential function now, and we'll be using again this sign, and we'll be using a raised to x1. Now you know that why I'm using x1 and y1, because our table consists of x1, y1, right? Now very simply they are asking you the value of b, and value of b is very nicely written here, that is, it is negative 324. Yes. So simply I can write negative 324 here. Okay, it's written in the parameters down. If you see A is 18 and B is negative 324. So nothing to worry here. You need to understand if there are number of unknowns matches with the number of knowns, right? There are unknowns, we have two coordinates also. Two or more than two coordinates are sufficient to plot it on the regression. We can use the Desmos here. Going to the next question, simply here they are telling you f of x equal to x minus 1, x plus 3, x minus 2. This is your translation. But still we can translation, we can still take the help of Desmos and calculator, and still we can able to figure it out how to solve this. Just we need to know if they are telling you shifting up by 6 unit, how to write it on the Desmos. Correct? I'll start it, right? We'll simply will understand what their question they are telling about. So f of x equal to x minus 1, x plus 3, x minus 2 in the xy plane, when the graph of the function f, where y is equal to f of x, is shifted up 6 units, the resulting graph is defined by the function g. If the graph of y equal to g of x crosses through the point 4 comma b, where b is the constant, what is the value of b? Now crosses through the point 4 comma b means the value of x is given x coordinate. And if you want to find the value of b, that means you need to find the y coordinate. But when you will shift the function, the original function, up by 6 units, right? So we'll go here, we'll write the original, very simple, always write the original function first, right? I'm writing the original function, that is x minus 1, x plus 3, and I'll write x minus 2. Once I write this, yeah, this is our graph, if you're able to see, okay? And now they're telling where y is equal to f of x is shifted up by 6 units, the resulting graph is g. You don't have to write g of x. You can just shift the original graph by 6 units up. Now you are getting two graphs. How to understand that which is the translated graph? If you see, the green color denotes the translated graph and the blue color denotes the original graph. So you can just make invisible your original graph and your translated graph f of x plus 6, and simply if you put x is equal to 4, you will get a value of b, that is the value of y. Yes, so what we are getting here is we are getting this point, and this point is 4 comma 48. That means your value of b is 48. Simple as that. Yes, so nothing to worry about, right? Such type of questions we can easily do this. Still, if you're struggling to solve this question, if you're solving, you can skip this in your first round and you can come back and solve it, right? This is the strategy where college board also asks you to solve such type of question, doing it in the round 2. Going to the next question. Now, if it's invisible, you can just simply, this is very good question. Now, most of the student feel that if that is 97 pi by 3 is given and they're asking you tan, now you know that 97 pi by 3 is in the radians, right? It is not in the degree. You know, Desmos by default take the radian values. Desmos does not understand degree. We have to do the setting right in the calculator to understand the degree, like Desmos. But if we by default, if the Desmos is by default understanding the radian, so we can take the advantage of that, right? In the exam, what we can do is if they're asking you tan of this, we can just simply put 97 and we can just go to pi and just go divided by 3. So simply we are getting 1.732. Now Desmos does not understand. This is also one of the feature I need to discuss. That 1.732, sometimes we will not understand that whether it is a root 3, whether it is 1 by root 3. So simply you can just take the advantage of this keypad and you can just put 3 root 3 there. So root 3 is 1.732. That is our answer. But if you want to confirm this, you can just put negative root 3, that is negative 1 point. So you can check here itself, right, on the Desmos. 1 upon root 3, that is your 0.55, and negative 1 upon root 3. So that is your answer is, yeah, root 3 here. So I'll just mark root 3. And this is what our 10 questions are, right? If you want to review this, again, you can watch this video again and basically you can save more score and score more, right? So far, we have just developed this workshop, the short workshop, just to give you 10 magical tricks. We have more tricks of the Desmos, but for that, you have to visit our platform, that is www.Pi-Theta.com. And from there, you can just, I'll just show you again, right? This thing. Just I need to go to review and I can just submit this test. I'm submitting this and on this test. Right. Now I'm getting something that is what also if I have done question number 2 wrong, question number 4 wrong, I have done something I have written wrong. So you can review with our AI tutor here, right? Our AI tutor is Elsa, correct? So they had written here, dive into each question solution, understand your errors, and level up with the similar practice question, plus get instant tips and tricks with the Elsa. So you can just review your test now, right? Then there is an accuracy analysis. Your accuracy is 80%. We might have done one or two question here and there wrong. Yes. Okay. And then you can spend 22 minutes, 32 seconds to solve the math section. Okay. Understood. So which question is wrong, which question is right, and you can review your test with the ELSA. Let's say if I start reviewing this test with the ELSA. So here is the view analytics. If I just review with ask ELSA, I can just review this test and okay, and see where our answer is wrong. If it is wrong, then we can just review with the else. Hope this idea is clear, everyone. Correct. So this is something very important, and we can just go back here. Okay. View analytics. We can again see the analytics of our test. So this was your Desmos workshop, 10 magical tricks to ace the SAT. Okay, and there's a diagnostic test. Again, I am showing you that you can give the free diagnostic test here. You can play and practice a lot of the questions. If you want to enroll for full length test, you have to subscribe to our advanced plan. Okay, and you can actually go to analytics dashboard for the full length, for play and practice, for the diagnostic, everything. Yes. Okay, now if we go to our website, so on the website you can give a free diagnostic test that will get you to the our platform, SLP platform. Then you can schedule your demo session as well, right? Okay, then you can connect with the counselor as well. So if you want to connect with the counselor, that will help you around that which course to take, right? You can book your appointment now, get your personalized guidance. You can take your free trial session. If you're confused, you can talk to the counselor. There are a lot of things on our website where you can explore. Then there are blogs as well. Okay, you can read your daily blogs. Okay, you will have to understand what are the test preps, what are the courses we have. You can explore this. So in the courses, if you want to go ahead with our plan, there are a lot of plans. You can go to AI powered plan also. Just make sure that you are going through the Desmos session. Again, you are revising this video again and make sure that you are following some. So what you can do here is that whatever questions you have, you can just put in your chat box. We'll be helping you to try those questions. And also you can book our free trial session, book our free demo session. You can book our free diagnostic test as well. Just go to the website and click on, so our website is www.pitheta.com, and you can just book free AI site assessment. That will take you directly here. You can go to the diagnostic test and book the diagnostic test. As simple as that. So see you in the next video. In the next video, we'll come with some more interesting tips and tricks on SAT and help you to get you the stellar score. So kindly subscribe, like, and share our video.